All right, digital video notes store 390, customer Henley. Let me give you a quick look around the room. There's the stove side of the room. Here we have the sink, dishwasher, big wide window there above. To the right hand side is the fridge up against the right hand wall. And this is where we had a little water damage. The refrigerator actually leaked, got in underneath the linoleum, and is causing some of this remodel. So you can see the linoleum has been cut in several places to try to get the water dried out. I told them to go ahead and pull the fridge out and put a fan back there for about a week and get that completely dried out. That way we don't have any problems with moisture whenever the cabinets finally get here. Take a look over here on this side. Got an island, got a receptacle down here. Make sure we add that receptacle back into our labeler to do those. This is a little peninsula piece that goes between the living room and the kitchen area. And a couple of the other homes that we've done in Willoughby Station, they've actually taken this piece out. It's just kind of a pinch point. You see right here, the space from the front of that fridge to this front right here is only about 28 inches. So I talked to them about that today. Since they're doing new floors, there are only a couple of pieces of molding, that piece molding and that piece molding, from not even having that as part of the kitchen strategy here. And that'll actually take a lot of money out of the cost of the remodel. It's not really used much. They're saying it's pretty much just a catch-all like you see. So talk to them about removing that today. And I think that's possibly what they're going to do between the two rooms. Gives them a lot more open space in here between the two of them. At this point, if you pull the fridge all the way to the front of that, you can barely get it out of the hole it's in. So that's another reason it might actually be good. Either that or shrinking it up to 24 inches or something. It's 30 inches long right now, 31 inches to the edge of the countertop. So let's start right here where the microwave is. You can see there's a 24-inch cabinet with a 1-inch filler to the left-hand side. That's a 27.5-inch back wall, 25 3/4-inch left-hand wall. Talked to him today about maybe putting that as a pantry. We got a lean-in pantry here. We got a microwave sitting on the countertop there. You got to buy a countertop. You have to buy an open place for the microwave to fit inside if you did a pantry. So we talked about maybe changing to an over-the-range microwave and getting rid of the upper cabinet, bottom cabinet look like this is, and going with a just total storage pantry, maybe a broom closet if it's diamond or something that's tall enough to put small appliance brooms or something in. Just give them some options. They do need this drawer space. If you see the drawer space here, and I know Craftmade makes some that has like 1, 2, 3 drawers in the bottom of them. Shenandoah might have a couple of rollout trays that we could do in the bottom of their utility pantry, but they would like to have some extra storage in this area here instead of just the actual little wall cabinet, the base cabinet, and the countertop space. Turn around and take a look at this side of the room. Now over here, for some reason, the original had a 12-inch base and a 15-inch wall cabinet. They are not the same length. So the 18-inch wall cabinet that you have in the design will come out a little bit further on this wall. This wall is 89.5 inches long. So as long as we stick inside of 85, 87 inches, somewhere in there, we'll have room for the crown molding up here to return where it needs to. We need about 3 inches of this wall for the crown molding to return correctly. But your design had a 36-inch Lazy Susan on the right-hand side. And if you take a look right here, from the corner of this room to the edge of that cabinet is 38 inches right now. Now, the plug, when we pulled the stove out, the plug is literally sitting right there at 42 inches out of that corner. So moving the cabinets over 2 more inches would actually help. Right now, the stove cannot touch the wall. Look at that. So the plug's in the way of it actually doing that. If we move the stove over a couple of more inches, it would really help. We'd probably get that back there to get closer to the wall. The upper cabinets right now, if you look, there's a range hood there now. Talked about doing an over-the-range microwave. Talked about the pros and cons of a range hood. He says, he kind of hits his head on this sometimes because it's so deep. Well, this is about 18 inches depth, and where most microwaves are only 15 inches deep, that's a big difference there as far as usability for his height. The other thing is by putting the microwave here, you get the recirculation benefit and everything the microwave has, and then you can have more storage space for that space over there. So just a couple things we've been talking about. Just make sure that that you are going through that with them. Now, if we do change from a range hood to an over-the-range microwave, you got to make sure that we do the upgrade for the electrical. We do not have a plug in here right now, so we got to make sure that we do an upgrade for the electrical to have a plug for the microwave to fit in. So that's a total of 2 plugs so far, one for the end of the island and one for that. Now over here on this wall, in your design, you had an easy reach corner cabinet. Perfect, no problem. They have a wall blind corner now, but that'll be fine if you want to do that with them. The other thing is there's a little bit of disparity between the size of the cabinets to the center line of the window. So here I have your 1-inch filler that you have, your 18-inch drawer bank. Then we put the 24-inch dishwasher. They are wanting to keep it on that side, on the right-hand side of the sink. But when I did the math out to the center, you were off by 2 inches. Your center line I put on the drawing was 2 inches shallow of where your drawing center line was. So make sure you go back and double check that. That's probably going to have to be a drawer base 15 instead of an 18 so that we can adjust the center line. And then you might have to make this a 33-inch sink base to make sure that we have plenty of room for the dishwasher and the end panel. Definitely want to have an end panel here for the countertop to sit on. Now, one of the other things is you went ahead and put in a deep cabinet above the refrigerator, which is perfect. They're wanting that. But we have to maintain 38 inches of space. I have a 38-inch space here now. The fridge barely fits. You can see it's really tight up against the right-hand wall. But besides that, the right-hand wall has the water box, the H2O box is on the right-hand wall way back there. So we got to have an open right-hand side for that to work. The reason I set a sink base 33 over here instead of a 36 is we're going to have to add an end panel right here. And if you take a look, that plug, if we are inside of this space, see the end of this is 38 inches. If we come in 1.5 inches, we're going to be right on the edge of that plug. So this wall needs to be a WTEP, a 3/4 inch thick end panel, so that we don't get onto the face of that plug-in right there. We want to make sure we have plenty of room for that plug-in not to touch something. Otherwise, look at the island. The island was a custom built island. It was 28 inches wide. It is going to be 24 in your design. It was 50 inches long, be 48 in your design, no problem. That'll work just fine. But the spacing here from the front of this to the front of this is only about 28 inches right now, 30 to the base. So we want to widen this up. They want to take that space, that extra 4 inches, and stay with the back alignment where it's at, and just make sure we add some room in here in front of the sink base. Same thing over here. Right now, from the face of this cabinet to the face of this cabinet is about 35 inches or so. They want to try to maintain a 3-foot space in here. Same thing here, 3 foot in front of the sink area minimum to make sure that we have plenty of egress around the sink and the stove area. Right now it's really tight. Does not fit the ADA requirement at 36 inches at this point. It would need to for our install. That's pretty much it. The only other thing we talked about is the ceiling has a stipple finish. If you see, there's stipple on all of it, pretty heavy stipple. The upper cabinets in your design are 39-inch cabinets. According to what molding they want to use, they have a 96.5-inch ceiling height at standard 96, but it's 96.5. You could probably go with a wall 39 and a 2.25-inch CM8 with a starter trim. It'd be safer if you went with a 36-inch upper cabinet with a starter trim and a CM8 or a large cove. But nothing bigger than 3 inches in projection. If you remember over here, we only have 27.5 inches of space beside of that pantry. So we want to make sure we don't hang out past the end of that wall with our top moldings. Everywhere else, the molding should be fine. If we're going to be longer on this wall, make sure that the molding doesn't hang out past the open edge of that. Last thing to talk about is underneath the sink base. We have 2 1/2-inch copper pipes underneath the sink base. The valves are 20 years old. They probably will not hold. So we definitely want to do 2 1/2-inch copper valve replacements. Those are going to be compression valves. And straight quarter turns, and then add a T, which is a 3 by 3/8 by 3/8 female added to the top of that. But they are straight valves. They come straight up out of the floor. Let me see if I can see that here for you. There you go. And everything else is standard plumbing, but they do need to be replaced so we don't have such a large opening that we have to cut in the cabinet. And plus, we don't want to have any leaks or anything after the new cabinets are installed. If you have any questions about the kitchen, feel free to give me a call at 423-650-1051. Have a good day.